and Instagram, or just simply just Shantae. Welcome to my daily live called Shantae's Analysis. Hashtag it on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. I'm sorry I'm looking like a hot mess. It's Tuesday, but I'm in my house and it's late, so my bun looked a little corroded, but we're good in the hood. I worked out today, so I'm fine. So I'm going to be coming to you with COVID numbers, and it was a pretty newsworthy day. So, you can always catch this video if you miss it on my Twitter timeline, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shantae Berry, or follow me on Instagram. Whatever you want to do. Not telling you what to do, but whatever you want to do. And thanks for the support, because it's all free, of no charge. I am my own entity. But I'm going to come with you with some COVID numbers, because those numbers are important. We are in the midst of a global pandemic. So here we are. So staggering numbers once again. From the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website. Global confirmed cases in 191 countries, the last time I checked. 73,434,930 cases of COVID. The global death toll is 1,634,339. That's on the global frontier. U.S. confirmed cases as follows. We're leading, number one, leading in the most infected country, and we're only 20% of the global population. 16,715,260. The U.S. death toll, like yesterday, was at 300,000 because we hit a milestone. Tonight, we had 3 more thousand deaths. Good Lord. 303,529. Yeah. So much for quote unquote rounding the corner. And as of today, we received 193,454,000 new COVID infections here at home in the U.S. You can check these numbers out yourself on the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website. So now I'm going to get into the New York Times COVID map for the states, because I think that's important, that we need to report stuff at home as well, because we're the sickest country on the globe, and we only account for 20% of the population, but we have damn near 25% of the cases on the globe. So, of course, you have some places in the Rust Belt, and the Sun Belt states are the hot spots. Go check that out. The New York Times COVID map is free only for COVID, and it's the same thing for the Washington Post. All right. This reads as follows. California. 1,654,817. They almost have 2 million cases. They have doubled of what we have. Yeah, we have 303,000 deaths from the Johns Hopkins website, according to that. And yeah, it is sad, Queen Lion. It's so sad. And hello to you as well. Texas, 1,513,142. Florida, 1,143,786. Illinois, which surpassed New York about like 2 weeks ago, 865,026. New York, 799,551. And by the way, restaurants are they stop indoor dining in New York as of Monday. And I feel like we're going to have another shutdown. It might be a national one too in January. Don't be surprised. It's well needed. Ohio, 579,357. Georgia, 534,488. Pennsylvania, 515,009. Michigan, 477,613, and they're in like in a severe like red infected. It's really bad. And Wisconsin ends up that top 10 with 475,340. So these numbers they're pretty darn staggering at this point in time. It's not looking too hot on the block, if you know what I'm saying, with COVID. And even though the vaccines are out, we still don't have a national strategy. Like, we still don't have a national strategy to slow the spread. Yes, the vaccines are great. It's fine. Healthcare workers are getting them. But we still have no national strategy, and that's not good. Because in order to have a national strategy, slow the spread, everybody should be wearing their mask. And should be no indoor nothing. Even some of these award shows, they need to all be virtual. Like the DNC was all virtual. It needs to be like it needs to be like a national shutdown. It doesn't need to be state by state, because no state should not be having an astronomical amount of cases. 3 of our states should not be in the millions. And 2 or 3 of them is close to the millions. Like my state is like almost 800 cases in. We just had an increase of 10,000 cases. So it's looking pretty crazy at this point. And of course, there's no relief. There's none. And there might not be none. That might have to be an executive order in the next administration. Because this one, I lost all hope. And speaking of the next administration, Addison Mitchell McConnell Jr., the Senate Majority Leader, I guess, decides he wants to congratulate the next administration. Because he's going to have to work with their asses. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't trust Addison with not even a high and a fist bump. He will try to jam everything that will help the American people, even the people in his state. And Kentucky is one of the most poorest states in the United States. Heavenly white. And you don't want to help the people? And you definitely don't want to help the people in Louisville, which is more black people. You don't want to help them. I mean, for crying out loud, I haven't heard him utter Breonna Taylor's name. Nor reached out to Breonna Taylor's family. But your protege, sure enough, sided with the cops. Bull Connor in blackface. Mr. Cameron. Oh, yes. But, I don't trust Addison. Not one bit. But speaking of the administration, again, the administration has 2 new cabinet picks. I'm actually surprised at one, but I'm actually happy. And another one I'm kind of surprised at too, because I didn't know she was going to have a cabinet. I mean, a thing in a cabinet, but who am I? All right. So Pete Buttigieg has been handpicked as the, let me read this. Mitch McConnell does not care about the USA. He only cares about exactly Queen. Okay, so with these cabinet picks, Jennifer Granholm, the former governor of Michigan, has been picked as the energy secretary. She has once been a voice for zero emissions in vehicles. And Pete Buttigieg has been handpicked as the transportation secretary. And this is all according to the Washington Post and NPR and The Hill and all that stuff. I don't mind. I actually like this pick. I mean, Well, Pete Buttigieg, I'm like, transportation, but then again, you saw one of the campaign ads and how he did this for Indiana with the, with the infrastructure of the state itself and, the railroads and all the, I understand, because I would have thought he would have been like a UN, not a UN ambassador, but like an ambassador of a country, because the man has more foreign policy like knowledge, in my opinion. But transportation secretary is pretty good for Pete. I mean, Pete has been a great surrogate. Excuse me, Mayor Buttigieg has been a great surrogate. So I would not mind him being in an administration, because I was like, he's been a good surrogate to you guys. One of the only few white people that actually advocated for it. So kudos to Pete. You and Chassie gonna be moving. Y'all may keep your house in Indiana. I don't know, but y'all gonna be moving. Good. So y'all can build a bigger life for each other. Maybe adopt some kids. Who knows? And kudos to y'all. And Jennifer always been a day one Biden supporter, but I would never know her to like go back to government, because she looked like the type to like, I don't want to go back to government no more and blah, 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 blah. Stacey Abrams, I'm not sure she'll get a post, and if she does, she should be leading like a agency, like a voters right agency. But if Tom Perez is picked for an administrative position within the administration, I can see her being the chair of the DNC, because the DNC need new leadership. They do. And she will be good to lead the DNC. If not, like a voters commission within the administration, if they have like a spot, because they need to develop some new agencies, because our voters' rights has been attacked by the GOP in all political branches, not just the judicial branch, not just the executive, but the legislative too. So if anything, Stacey Abrams, I would like to see her leading like a voters' rights commission within the administration, like the agency, and have her people work on the ground to get people registered federal and have it state by state. You need a commission like that. Maybe that's just me, but it's just strategy. If I don't see that for her, I will definitely see chair the DNC, either the two. But yeah. But Jennifer, I would never thought Jennifer would be back in government, so that's good for her. I'm glad Governor Jennifer will actually be in the administration, because, like I said, she's been a day one Biden supporter, like day one. Like Cedric Richmond, who's been a day one, which I'm happy that he got his position. But you want to celebrate, but here comes the bullshit. These white progressives. I'm going to be blasting them like every other day, because I just can't. I try to be nice. I try to be, can't find the right adjective or the right word. But I try to be understanding, right? I try to be, understanding of their feelings, their candidate, because I know my candidate left before the Iowa caucuses. So I understand that your candidate ran a second time and lost way worse than he lost the first time. But all is said is done. Every other person whose candidate did not receive the nomination and they had to drop out, they were sad, but they did not attack the front runner. They didn't. We know Harris supporters, we definitely didn't do that. Not Julian's, because Julian and Corey had supporters. I'm pretty sure Michael Bennett has some supporters, maybe not a lot, but a little bit. Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg has supporters. Pete Buttigieg had a great amount of supporters, because one of the guys in my building actually volunteered for him, so he was pretty bummed. But I understood, because his candidate, actually, I kind of liked Pete. Warren supporters, some of them, the ones that were actually civil, because I know some that I'm friends with, they were hurt, but they were not bitter towards any other person. It seems like these Sanders supporters, not the real life ones, not the ones I know in real life who actually kind of got over it, even though they still a little hurt, but they got over it. But these online ones, and more so these national surrogates, they're the problematic ones, the ones with the megaphones, the ones that got all this bark and no bite. So I'm going to just read some of these tweets to y'all because they're nothing but punks in my book. So Walker Bragman, I have, a video blasting his dubious remark. He tweeted this, I think, 6 days ago. I don't know what's a bigger insult to young people. Biden not naming any progressives to his cabinet, or Biden reportedly giving people to judge an important ambassadorship. One, he did not give him an ambassadorship. He was thinking about giving him the ambassador position to China, but he felt like Pete has a great infrastructure background when he was a mayor, which that is true. So, Pete will be the transportation secretary if nominated. But Walker doesn't know anything because the only politics he's been exposed to was the Bernie wing of the party. And even that, still not enough knowledge. But who am I? And then the Jacobin. Pete Buttigieg is the poster child for progressive neoliberalism. I always get that. Offering up platitudes about talking about diversity while leaving untouched the very structures that oppress people. It's time we left this kind of politics in the past. Sounds more opinionated. I want to know who this stupid ass article is written by. Doesn't say the name. He's a center elite LGBTQ politics. By framing himself as a progressive champion while vowing not to alienate voters on either side from the aisle, Buttigieg has sought to emulate President Barack Obama in both style and substance. Sounds kind of racist. I want to know who's the person that wrote this article. They don't have the person's name. Maybe they're too chicken. But who is the Jacobin? I don't know who that person is. Do y'all know who the Jacobin is? Non-factors. Let's see. So Miss Joy, Miss Gray, Madam say this. She may got a lot to say. So Joe Biden tweeted this. Mayor Pete Buttigieg is a leader, patriot, and problem solver. He speaks to the best of who we are as a nation. True. I am nominating him for the Secretary of Transportation because he's equipped to take on the challenges at the intersection of jobs, infrastructure, equity, and climate. So here comes Miss she got a job a long time ago. but you're so toxic that they probably don't want to hire you no network for you commentating. Yeah. You know, so funny. People think I'm Caribbean, but it's like I'm not, and I'm not making fun of it. It's just the fact that I've been around Caribbeans a lot, especially within these recent years. And I also dated some Caribbeans. I dated Jamaicans. I dated a Trini. I dated people that were Guyanese from St. Vincent. I live in New York, so it's just like it's a lot of Caribbeans all over, and I love them, and they're my people, and they are foundational Black people that live in America. And that's to all the quote unquote foundational Black people. Notice that he doesn't say he's qualified. Oh yeah, Addison don't care about Black people. I mean, care about people. Addison, Mitch McConnell. So I'm not surprised that Rihanna is jealous. All these progressives just keep talking crap because their man did not win. So I'm just going to read the stats because I have a little bit of time, not as much time because I got to go to bed soon. So in 2016, according to AP, Bernie Sanders won New York by 42%, which he received 108 delegates, versus Hillary Clinton 58%, which he received 139. She received over 1 million of the vote, and she could have received more, but it was misogyny, pretty much. Fast forward 4 years later, there's more contenders in the race, and blah 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 blah. So let's read the numbers starting from the most. Joe Biden won New York in a total of 839,942 votes, which is 71%, which he received 199 delegates. Because New York during the primaries had 274. Bernie Sanders, he received 201,000 versus his 763,000 from 2016. 17% of the vote, which he only received 18 delegates in New York. Elizabeth Warren received 51,019, 4% of the vote, which she didn't get none. Michael Bloomberg, he was the mayor. He got 2.7%, which we all know, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. People to judge had 1.5. Andrew Yang had 1.4. So pretty much Bernie Sanders didn't receive 20% of the vote. And keep in mind, and I said he lost his native state twice. His native state is New York. He has a New York accent. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Midwood. That's like the Flatbush area. Would you have preferred Trump? No. I don't like Donald Trump. I'm from New York. No New Yorkers like Donald Trump. Especially people from the city, like Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Donald Trump is from Queens. So Staten Island, well, they kind of like him in Staten Island. But the four boroughs I named, no. But Senator Sanders did horrible in New York. This is his hometown. You should be able to do good in your birthday. In the 2016 election, Hillary didn't win, but Hillary did well in her home state and her birth state. The same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden did good in his home state and his state of birth, which is Pennsylvania and Delaware. Donald Trump did well in his home state of Florida, his new home state, but Donald Trump did not win New York because nobody in New York liked him. We never did. Way before this election, we know him as the whole scam artist. So, but getting back to Bernie lost the primaries twice. He lost his native state twice. So what does that tell you? Bernie did not run a good campaign like he did in 2016. his campaign did worse, and that's because of the surrogates and some of the staffers like Breonna Gray and the rest of his national surrogates. They did a terrible job reaching out to black people. We could get the young people. Young people didn't turn out and vote during the primary. And that's that. But that's all I have today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow because I'm tired. Ready to go to my bed. But you all have a good night and see you tomorrow.